Fine, teacher. You?
I'm
Fine,
fine.
teacher. Everything
Dealing
is
with job.
okay.
Everything's okay. Nice to
Excellent
hear that.
teacher.
Good.
And you?
Dealing with job, dealing with a lot of things that I don't like, but it is what it is. We have to do it. Working for CONALEP is something very difficult. There is a lot of bad stuff there, a lot of bad people, and we have to do it. It is what it is. But we are here. We are happy. I'm happy to see you again. And please give me a moment to call the roll. I will do it very, very quick. There you go. Thanks a lot for waiting for me. Uh, I'm gonna offer you guys an apology because of the things that happened with the video. I can perfectly listen to it here in my computer, but I think at the moment of uploading it to the YouTube channel, something is not working with the audio and it is demanding me a shorter video because it says that it is too heavy. I don't know if it has a relationship with the omission of the audio, but here we're gonna have again the explanation for you in case you had some problems. I think the presentation was very easy because for this unit we're not gonna continue with the topic of grammar. We're gonna go into a new unit about listening strategies. That is what are gonna oh there you go, what are we gonna see today. So I'm gonna start by talking about sorry the listening strategies. So I'm gonna start by defining a little bit more about the listening strategies. So we already know that we use some different techniques talking about listening. We use the active listener and the passive listening. So basically, the active listening is when, for example, you are listening to a conversation or when you are listening to the radio and you are going to be looking for specific information. The same happened with the audios that we have for the ITEP exam. You listen to someone to something and you have to look for specific information. That will be the active listening. Then the passive listening is when you hear, I don't know, a conversation, you listen to an episode of a series or the news at the TV, and you are just listening, but you are not really looking for specific details. That's the passive listeners. So the test takers of the exam are generally taking notes to help them remember the most important details about the dialogue or the lectures they are listening to. And to practice the note taking, we're gonna have the conversation that I have already uploaded to our classroom, and we're gonna have two different exercises for today. As you already noticed, we had a listening about comprehension questions and a listening about finding the main idea of the lecture. Because in this case, I didn't put a dialogue; it was more a lecture. So questions before to continue about what active and passive listening are.
No. Teacher.
No, teacher.
No.
No, teacher.
Okay. So I know that it's not always we don't really have the chance to take notes always while we are doing the exam because we sometimes we cannot write on the book that we have or that they have provided to us. So there is something very useful for us that will be the key basic questions that are going to be the next ones. It is very important to catch very specific details as who is speaking, if there is more than one speakers, and what's the relationship that both speakers, in case we have two or more, have, and what is the issue or the problem that is being addressed in the listening. And for this, in order to get these details, I propose these 9 different strategies. They are very, very simple. And it's prediction that it is about, instead of reading the whole passage, do a very quick scan and try to predict what the whole passage is about. Then we have the background knowledge, that is that we're gonna do again the scan, and we're gonna try to know or to recall what I already know, or the previous knowledge I have about the topic of the, in this case it is not a reading, but in this case will be the lecture or an audio. I don't know if it is clear the difference between the lecture and the audio. The thing is that in the audio, it will be a conversation with 2 or more participants. And in the lecture, we have only one speaker, the narrator. So then we have activate topic vocabulary, in which we're gonna try to recognize the words that we already know, and we're gonna try to relate it with the topic. Then we have the sounding out, in which we're going to be paying a lot of attention in the sounds of the speakers. If we identify any word that we don't know, but that we can relate to another language, for example, the way in which it happens with the cognates, we listen some certain sounds or say certain words that are the same, or that it can mean the same in Spanish. The cognates will be listened for words that sound like English words. It is what I already mentioned. And then the resemblance, that it will be listened for specific words that sounds like another words that I already know, to try to relate them and get the meaning of these unknown words. These 3 strategies, sounding out, cognates, and resemblance, are very similar and are very helpful for us when we don't know, or when we are not really sure about the meaning of the words that are appearing in the conversations or in the lectures. Then we have the number 7, that will be the intonation. We're going to use the intonation, the rising and the falling intonations in English, to assess the information focus. You know that in English language, we tend to put a specific intonation in the most important parts of the conversations. So that's what we're gonna look for it in intonation. Strategy. Then we have the grammar strategy. We use it to assess the importance of the individual words used in the lecture or in the conversation. And then last but not least, we have the extraction. That will be the list of gifts of the passage. I mean, it is something that we have to apply. It doesn't mean that we're gonna take notes about everything, or even about the whole passage, or the whole lecture, or the whole conversation. It is just a gist. It means the key words, not every single word. Then here we have, this is gonna be the passages that we're gonna be looking for. It's gonna be the main idea, in which we're gonna try to find the highlights, or the most important highlight of the audio. Then we have catching details, that it's gonna be something very fundamental to listening conversations, because we're gonna have the questions, we're gonna look for questions that are gonna be looking for specific tangible points, or for specific information of an exchange, a discussion again, or a lecture. It depends on the audio that we're gonna have. Then we have the connecting content, that will be something that we're gonna use to demonstrate that we're gonna be determining a connection between the pieces of information given in the discussion or the dialogue, to later on maybe answer the comprehension questions or the questions implied. And then we're going to have making implications that it's going to help us to infer the context for a particular event or a particular comment in the dialogue in order to avoid listening to all or taking notes about all the information given or presented in or dialogue or in our lecture. Questions up to here?
No, teacher.
Nobody? I think it is very, very simple. So here I put just a screenshot to show you what the catching details are about. So it's very simple. It is about what, as I already mentioned, catching the more important details without writing a lot. I mean, you can take notes, but you cannot really write or type the whole conversation or the whole lecture. So it is what it is. For this part, I didn't include the questions, the comprehension questions that are included in the ITEP guide because I decided to copy them and to put it into a new document and then the audios by separately because I think it is a little bit more complex talking about this type of exercises. So those were the audio. It's the one that is already there in our platform, in our Google Classroom. And today I'm gonna add the last two exercises that we're gonna do for this audio. So every week I'm gonna try to have a new audio according to the strategies that we're gonna be developing. And remember that for one audio, we're gonna have the 4 or the 5 exercises of the week. Questions about it?
No.
No.
Any
No, teacher.
comment you would like to add?
No, teacher.
Nope. Any other thing? Anything? Háblenme, lo que sea.
No.
Nobody?
Any words? Any
Okay.
problem? Well, for me, I think.
Okay, Alan, muy bien. That's nice. So I think there's no any other situation or any other comment about the exercises of this week. So I'm gonna upload this video to our YouTube channel and I hope it has the audio because otherwise you're not gonna be able to watch again all this session, or for the ones who didn't have the chance to be here today, maybe they are not gonna have this chance, but I'm gonna do my best to solve this situation. Hopefully it's not gonna happen again. So there
Teacher.
is, yes. What's that,
Uh,
teacher? Alan, yes.
hey, I already have a question.
Yes, tell me.
I remember yesterday I did the homework, the
Uh-huh.
listening, and in the page, some question has A, B, C, D, and E answers. Another don't have any letter.
I think I didn't include the letters, but it is just a matter of putting in order A, B, C, D.
Okay.
Yeah, I
In,
think I
yeah.
had that omission of the letters. Yes, it is because I swear I was copying. Of course, I already mentioned that I have the book, the photocopies of the book, so I had to type manually all the exercises. Maybe that's why I committed that mistake.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
thanks,
yeah.
Alan. I will take it into account for next exercises.
Yep. Okay.
Any other comment or question?
No, teacher. It's okay. No, teacher, everything is clear.
Okay, so I think if we don't have any other comment or any other thing to mention, that will be it for today's class. I really appreciate your favor of your attentions in my class and also your attendance. Thanks a lot and hope you have a very good weekend.
So thanks,
You
teacher.
too, teacher.
Have
Thank
a
you.
nice weekend.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
You too. Have a
Thank
nice weekend.
you.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Take care.
Bye,
Have a nice
todos.
weekend. See you.
Thanks, you too. See you. Bye-bye.